Hello, what's up guys? Welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be building an IP lookup app using Laravel and Livewire. So what this app is going to be doing for us is that when we enter any IP address on this input box, it's actually going to get the geolocation data of that IP address. So first it's going to validate the IP address to know whether the IP address is valid or not. Secondly, if it is correct or the IP address is valid, it's going to fetch the geolocation data of that IP address. So let's try and test the app. Let me show you the demo of the app. So let me put an IP address on this input box. First, let me try with a wrong IP address. So as you can see, it throws an error telling me that the IP address is invalid. So let's try to enter a correct IP address this time around. Let's click submit. As you can see, it fetched the information of that IP address. It will get the IP address, then get the country that the IP address belongs to, the country code the IP address belongs to, the continent of the country the IP address belongs to, then the country code, the continent code of the IP address country, then the longitude of the IP address, the latitude, the currency code of the country the IP address belongs to, then the currency symbol of the IP address the country belongs to, then the time zone of the country the IP address belongs to, then finally the current local time of the country the IP address belongs to at the time this IP address was actually submitted on this app. So this is basically what we are going to be building. This is very simple and powerful at the same time. So without boring you with much talks, let's get started. Okay, we're going to start by installing a fresh Laravel project by using the Laravel installer, which is Laravel new, the name of our project, which is Laravel IP, and let's wait for it to install the project. Okay, it has finished installing. Let's cd it to the project. Then let's open the project on the Sublime Text, which is the code editor we are going to use. Okay, there's it. Okay, first we are going to start designing the page of the app. So first let's try to open the app on your web browser. Let's go to your terminal and type php artisan self to open the project on the web browser. So let's refresh this page and see what we have. So this is the app running on the web browser. First let's work on the web template which we're going to be using for the app. So we're going to delete the things that we don't need here. So we don't need this, and we don't need this too, and we don't need this too. So let's refresh, let's save and refresh the page and see what we have here. Okay, we have a blank sheet. So next we are going to use tailwindcss for this. So we quickly grab the tailwind css CDN that we're going to be using. So let's put that on the header and save. So let's quickly refresh the page and see what we have. Okay, it's back to normal. So next we are going to grab the markup that we're going to be using for this app. So let me quickly grab that, and we are going to paste it here. So this is actually the markup we're going to use on the app. So first there is the app logo that we're going to be using. So I have the image here on the public folder, and inside the img folder you see it. Then we have another image called loading.gif which I'll be using later on. So let's save this and open in our browser and refresh our browser. So this is what we have. So this is actually the input, and this is the button that we're going to be using, and this is actually the title of the app, so which is Laravel Livewire IP lookup. So next we are going to do, I'm going to change the color of the button to I'm going to change the button of the color to something like this. So to change the color of this button, we are going to use the tailwind custom color. So let me quickly grab the color code that this is the color code. So we are going to use the custom color name that's redefined here. So we'll just click forward and save that, then go back to our browser and refresh, and this it. So next, since we have actually set up the markup, next we are going to install Livewire, which we are going to be using. So let's quickly go to the terminal and install Livewire using composer require Livewire, enter. Okay, it has finished installing. After installing it, we have to create a component that we're going to be using, Livewire component that we're going to be using for the app, which is going to be we're going to use PHP as make Livewire IP lookup. That is the name of our component. So as you can see, it has created a class of the component, which is IP lookup.php, which will be located inside the Livewire folder that is inside the HTTP. Then the view is going to be IP lookup.blade.php inside the Livewire folder inside the views. So let's quickly go to our code editor to look at them. So first, after installing the Livewire package, the next thing you're going to do is to actually add the Livewire styles and scripts, which the styles will be on the head tag of the HTML. Then the script is going to be on the you're going to put it before the closing tag of the body tag. So first, let's add the styles, which is going to be Livewire styles like this. So the next one is the script, which is going to also be Livewire scripts, and you save that. Then we are going to move this whole markup that we're going to be using. That's the form and the table. The form the user is going to type in, and the table that is going to display the results after the IP data have been fetched. So let's try to refresh the page and see what happens. Okay, we are not seeing it again. So let's open the Livewire component blade file and paste it here. Now okay, we have separated the component, so we have actually pasted the component, the markup on the inside the component that we're going to be using. So let's import it using the Livewire helper. So this is how to import it, Livewire, then the name of the components that you are importing, which is IP lookup in our own case, and you save it. Let's refresh our page and see what we have. Okay, and this is it. So we're going to start working on making our app functional. So right now, okay, let me make this 2. Let me duplicate, sorry, not here. Let me add one more row to the table, which is going to be country. The country will be China. So let's see what we have here. Let's refresh. Okay, we have this. So next we are actually going to define our property. So let's open the Livewire component so that we created. Let me zoom this a little bit. So the property we are going to be using for this app will be, first is going to be an IP, second is going to be results, where we're going to store our results after fetching it from the API endpoint. So we are going to be using. So next year we are going to actually create the method that we're going to call when the user click on the submit button. This is going to be named find IP. It's not going to accept any parameter. So we're going to communicate with the endpoint that we're going to be using for this app, which is going to be a Joe plugin API endpoint that we're going to be using. So let's go back to our markup, and here we're going to bind the property with the one that we using wire mod there. It's going to be IP. So let's try something here. As user is typing on the input box, let the IP be displaying here. So let's leave it like this, and let's go to our browser and see what happened here. Undefined variable IP. Did we save this? Okay, I didn't save it. Let me save it and refresh. And there's it. So let's type something. As you can see, as you're typing, the IP is displaying on this. So this is how we're going to actually get the IP of the user. So this is just example of what we'll be doing. So let's try, and since we were able to get this IP here when the user type in the IP on the input box, so let's communicate with the API endpoint that we'll be using for this app. Okay. So it's going to store the results here, which is going to be results. Then we're going to initialize the response that we're going to get. Then we're going to use file get content. Then we put the API endpoint here. So let me quickly grab the API endpoint that we are going to be using. So okay, and this is it. And it accepts an argument which is IP. That's we're going to pass it to the IP that we want it to find for us. So we could say the IP will be this IP. So this is actually what we need. So first we are going to actually dump the results we get to actually see how the result looks like. It's going to be this result. So this is what we're going to be doing. So let's go back to our plate file and apply the wire click event here, Livewire. So we now call the method that we created on our component, which is find IP. So when the user click on this submit button, it's going to call the method that we created inside our Livewire component. So let's let me quickly go back to the browser and let's test this out. So let me quickly grab a valid IP. Okay, let me paste an IP here and hit on submit. Okay, here we go. So this is the result we got from the API. So we dump it here. So first you get the request IP, then the status, delay time, then the job plugin credits, then the city, then the country code, country name, the latitude, and the rest of them. So this is the data, the information we need. So we're going to actually access this one after the other. I'm not going to refresh this page, and I'm going to keep this page like this, so we'll be able to get the data that we need. So let me open on that tab and type. So what we're going to be doing is that we're going to display this record here on the table. So first would be IP, second would be country, and next should be country. Okay, second will be country code. Then this should be country. Let me check. Then we have the continent. Then I think we have the continent code for the continent. So next will be the continent. And you're going to have the longitude and the latitude also. Then you have the latitude. Then next we're going to, which other thing we're going to look at? Okay, we're going to get the time zone. We're going to get the time zone. Then lastly, I think, okay, we're going to get the currency symbol. Then lastly, let's get the lookup time. I think let's move this to here. Okay, this is basically what we'll be needing now. Okay, this is it. So let's next we are going to actually populate this. We don't want this this result to appear when the user loads the page. We want it to appear when there is result to show to the user. So let's quickly put this inside an if statement. So it's going to be if results is not equals to empty. Then you display this. So let's refresh. Okay, fine. Then this is what we need. So next we are going to bring a loading div. That's when this is being clicked, an icon should be showing loading on the page, so you know that something is actually happening or it's actually communicating with the server to fetch the results you need. So we're going to use this. That's where we're going to use this loading GIF image here. Basically, I would like just to put the if statement here. After this, let me quickly put this here. Okay, this is where I want our if statement to be. So next we're going to, I think we're going to now bring the loading image that will display when the user click on the submit button. So the loading image is going to be here. So let's refresh the page and see what we have. Okay, it's going to be showing this when the user click on this. So actually, so to do this, we are going to use going to wrap this inside a div. Then we are going to put wire loading. So that's when it's going to appear. Okay, when this is actually loading, that's when it's going to appear. So next, let's quickly let's populate the information that we have here with the one that we're going to get from the results. So this to do that, the first one is we're going to use IP. Yeah, so this one we're going to use a country, which will be results. Remember what we get from the we unserialize the results that we're getting from the API to be an array. So let's quickly grab the key of the country, which is this country name. Sorry, the country code first before the country name. So next is the country name. Okay. Next, you're going to have the continent code. And here we're going to have the continent itself. Then here we're going to have the longitude and let me confirm if it's actually correct. Okay, it's correct. Next we're going to have the latitude. Okay, the time zone is the next one. Then let's leave this local time for now. We'll get back to it later. This will be the currency symbol. Is it? Okay, let's use this. Okay. Okay, to get the actual current time or the local time of the IP address, we are going to use the now function, which we're actually going to get the current time. Then let's set the time zone. And the time zone is going to be the results time zone. Think where is the time zone? Okay. So I'm going to use the time zone here. So next is to format the time we're getting. So first one is the day, then the month, then the year. Then you're actually going to get the time, which is get the hour, then the minute, then the seconds, just like this. Let's save and hope that everything is actually going to work accordingly. So let's go back to the and let's comment this. So I think we are good to go for now. So let's go to the browser again and refresh the page. Then let's get this IP address again. Paste it here. And the file key, your login continent. Let's check if okay, continent name. Is it? Okay. Let's try this one more time. Let's refresh this page. This is okay. Here we go. So as you can see, we now get the lookup time of the IP address, the control of the IP address. So we actually get the information that we needed on it. Okay, let's try and enter first. Let's try and enter an IP address that doesn't exist, like this. Hit on submit and see what happens. Okay, as you can see. So this actually going to break our code if we don't actually validate or check for the wrong IP address that's being entered by the user. So let's quickly validate our form to actually detect the wrong IP address when it's being entered, so that it won't break our code. So let's go back to the code editor. So we're going to do something like this. Protected. I'm going to use Livewire. Protected rules. Sorry. Going to be an array. Then IP is going to be required. Then it's going to be an IP, just like this. So now we are going to put that validate here. Let's validate, and we are good to go. So let's try and next we are going to be displaying the validation error for the user. So let's get the error message here, which is going to be error IP and error. Then I'm going to have a BG red 200, text red 500, then pattern of 1. So we're actually going to display our error here. Let's make this one strong. So we now display the error message just like this. So let's go back to our code and refresh the page. So let's grab that IP address again. This time around, let's still work on the wrong one. Okay, as you can see, this is the error message that's up here. The IP field must be valid IP address. So this saves us from breaking our code. So next, as you can see, when you are typing on this thing keeps on hitting the server to actually get information which is not good for our application. So to solve this problem, we are going to put a differ method on the wire model. So this will actually not going to be hitting the server anytime the user is typing on the input box. So it only hits the server when the user clicks on this submit form. So that's it. So let's try one more time. Let's refresh and try one more time. Okay, Okay, I didn't save it, sorry. Let me save it. Refresh. Let's try again. Okay, it has stopped. So next we want this to disappear. Okay, let me say for example, let me get the IP address again. Press it and click submit. Okay, there's it. So let me say for example I entered another IP address like this and submit. As you can see, this is not actually disappearing, so I want this to disappear when the user hit on the submit like this. I want to remove this when the user hits on the submit button. So to do that, let's use the wire loading dot remove. So this will remove this table when the component is loading. So let's refresh and try again. Okay, let's try again. Okay, as you can see, perfect. So let's another thing for security reasons, we have going to disable the button, the submit button, when the component is loading, so that the user won't have to be clicking this multiple times. So it only loads when it's only active again when the components have loaded successfully. So guys, this is the end of this tutorial. If you find this tutorial very informative and helpful, please don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button to encourage us to do more of this on this channel. Thank you for watching. See you some other time.